This entitled worker has called someone for help about a problem to fix their computer, but when the problem is revealed, there is a shocking twist that reveals the worker has been up to some nefarious business. Happy birthday, today's your birthday, and on with the revamped show. Some background. Started working at my current job about a year ago on help desk. Recently promoted to IC specialist about 4 months ago, while still doing help desk things. This story is from when I was still on help desk. The characters are me, jerk manager, who thinks IT should drop what they're doing and help him because any inconvenience prevents him from doing his job. New girl, jerk manager's assistant, been with the company for about 2 weeks. And user. It was a typical day, trying to knock out all my blocked tickets, but the phone won't stop ringing. We had been getting calls about people trying to access an Excel file on a network share, only to get an error that user had it open, even though user isn't here today. Can confirm user wasn't logged in anywhere and hadn't logged in over 24 hours. I start researching it and find out there's an issue with this kind of document and network shares, but there's a workaround, but it doesn't work for everyone and can't remember what it was. Also, I find out that even though it says user has the file open, it's half correct. The file is open somewhere, but user was the last one to save the file. I don't have a ticket for the issue, so I'm not focusing on it, but I pass on my findings to my coworkers. The phone rings. It's my turn to answer. IT, this is Verbal, how can I help you?
Hey Verbal, this is JM. I need to access file to make changes, but it says user has it open.
He sounds kinda pleasant, but I know it's about to change. Yeah, we've been getting calls about this and we're looking into it. Cue his typical behavior.
I need it now!
As I said, we're looking into it, and I'll provide an update as soon as we can find out more.
This is bullcrap! I'm sick of calling this line, and you can't even do what your job title says!
Probably about another 30 seconds of him ranting about how much he hates the IT department.
If you can't help me, what can you do?
I can continue looking into this to try and get it resolved. Jerk manager back to ranting. At this point I had a random idea on how to find out who had the file open. Open computer management, connect to another computer, file server, shared folders sessions. Don't know why I didn't think of it before. I see new girl has the file open. I found it. It looks like NG has it open.
No she doesn't. She's working on something else.
He goes on that I'm trying to get him off the phone and argues that I'm wrong. While he's ranting, I find out what computer NG is on and remote into her computer. We use some remote desktop software that allows us to view and control a user's desktop through a web browser. She has Facebook open, and she's playing some game. I see down in the taskbar she has Excel open, but it's minimized. I'm just going off the information I'm finding. If you could go check, we could confirm my information is correct, or if I need to continue looking into this. JM begrudgingly agrees to go check and puts the phone down. I go back to watching NG's screen. She's happily playing her Facebook game, clicking here, clicking there. Then all of a sudden, the mouse stops moving for a few seconds. Then it starts to move towards the red X. I figured she was busted, and in my excitement of possibly being right, I accidentally moved my mouse cursor over the web browser, which takes over her screen, and moved her mouse cursor, causing her to miss the red X. The mouse stops moving for a minute, then I hear JM yelling through the phone, but I can't make out what he's saying, but I'm definitely sure she's busted. Yelling dies down, then the mouse starts moving again, closes Facebook, clicks on Excel, and voila, NG had file open the whole time. 10 seconds later, JM gets back on the phone. No apology, doesn't admit I was right, just says he's all good. Calls finally stop coming about file. That day, anyways. A couple days later I see JM submit a termination request for NG. Not sure why, but always thought that call had played a part in it. JM's boss submitted a termination request for JM a couple weeks after though. Not sure why. New girl wouldn't be the first person in an office to go on Facebook or be playing games while at work. But if you're going to do that, you need to at least look busy. And you don't want to have an Excel file open that holds up everyone else from doing their work. It's only going to draw attention to yourself. I mean, I guess she was new, she probably had no idea. But that's even more reason to just play it cool for a few months. Monday morning. It was bound to happen eventually. Can't avoid it if I tried, so may as well face up to it and stare it down. Dragging my butt into the office, still recovering from a weekend of doing absolutely nothing, but recovering from the last week. Exhaling the last cold air of dawn from my lungs and breathing in the stale hot air of the office air mixed with the smell of coffee and toast from the early starting staff members. Making my way to my cubicle, I ignore the frantic hand-waving of the human resources, 2 lies for the price of 1, who are begging me to show them how to operate their computers for them since their brains haven't warmed up sufficiently to remember how to do their jobs. I arrive at my cubicle, my tiny corner of refuge, my fortress of solitude that everyone knows about and visits incessantly. Firing up the computer, I again mentally toy with the idea of making a false cardboard wall to disguise my cubicle as a storage room full of cardboard boxes. The computer on, I log in and start dealing with the email and trouble tickets from the weekend, while my phone starts ringing off the hook. I swear these people watch me on hidden cameras waiting for me to sit down. I fight my way through the weekend spam build-up and make my way to the trouble tickets. First one in, the queue is from one of our branch managers on Sunday. Branch manager: "Users finished up with us today, Sunday. Please disable his access as soon as possible." Okay, nothing like starting the day with an employee deletion, even if this user wasn't one of the bad ones. Better than a cappuccino enema, some would say. Started employee termination proceedings. No need to refer to the instructions. I wrote them. Do all the necessary changes in our sales system. Change and disable AD and backup then delete the user exchange mailbox. Just as I hit the delete button to finalize the user deletion, the ticket queue ding. I watched as the final step process telling me that user had been totally deleted, then tabbed to the ticketing queue. The branch manager had sent an update. "I made a mistake. User doesn't finish up till tomorrow, Tuesday. Can you please reinstate his access as he can't get into his computer?" That's it, FML. Monday morning had won already and it was so early in the game. I went outside to stand in the slowly warming sun, toasted a "well done you bastard" to Monday with my hot chocolate and wished for a cigarette, even though I've never smoked in my life. I mean, what are you supposed to do at that point? You know that you're gonna get blamed for it anyway. This is only gonna justify him later when he's not productive in the morning. It's like, well, last time I was productive and got some stuff done really early, I had to try and reverse everything even though I couldn't because he was deleted. I was working in IT, got a call from a user saying their PC keeps turning off. I asked the usual questions to work out if the PC is shutting down, or is it the screen going blank, etc. End result of the conversation was that the PC was cutting out completely and needed powering back on via the on-off button. I headed up the 2 flights of stairs to the user, expecting a loose power cable. But once under the desk, I was surprised to find the power cable nice and secure, then looked at dust buildup and fans thinking overheating, but everything seems to be fine. I asked if there was any pattern to the cutouts. Does it happen when using a particular application, or at particular times of the day, etc.? She says no, but after a bit of prodding, says it often happens after she catches the PC with her foot. Thinking maybe an internal loose connection, I give the PC a few shakes and a few taps around the case, but the PC remains quietly well behaved. I tell her it seems to be working fine. She then says, "No, it happens when I catch it with my foot." Smack. From out of nowhere, she kicks the PC so hard, I thought she was trying to clear a goal in the opponent's half. Sure enough, the PC cuts power, and she looks very happy she's been able to demonstrate the problem. I tell her the PCs are not designed to take that kind of punishment, and it's no wonder it's shutting down. I then get back under her desk and move the PC and cables to the other side, so it's behind her drawer unit and not in the area her feet are. I show her where the PC is now, and say this should solve it, as she now cannot catch it with her feet.
"Oh no, I can't have it there. Where am I going to rest my feet?"
You shouldn't be using your PC as a footrest. How about we get you an actual footrest?
"No, the footrests are too low. The CPU is just the right height. Put it back."
After shuddering that she referred to her base unit as her CPU, I informed her that the PC is staying where I put it. I'm ordering her a footrest and she'll have to just learn to live with it. Had a request a few weeks later from her boss to put her tall footrest back where she can use it. so had to call them and explain what the situation actually was. Boss had a good laugh and told me he'd sort it out with her. Never heard anything more from either of them. Okay, to be fair, I'd be lying if I said I'd never used a PC as a footrest. But it's not the only thing, like the desk, a second chair. But calling your PC a CPU, okay, that's criminal. For those who don't know, CPU is Central Processing Unit. It's the processor inside the computer, it's not the whole computer itself. Over the 4th of July holiday, we had some pretty severe storms in my area. I've been on a very long and much needed staycation from work, which has absolutely nothing to do with the release of Shadowbringers. Nothing to do with that at all. I was enjoying a nice cup of Diet Cola, watching some epic cutscenes from the expansion when my phone rang. If you ignore it, they'll go away. I go back to gaming when the phone rings 9 more times. I finally pick up. What? Can you come help me out? I can make sure you get paid. My new computer in the new office is not working. 200. Huh? I'm on vacation and that's my fee. This isn't manager. If you're worth it, I will pay it. I drive out to his office and take a look at his PC. It will post, but will not move past that. Maybe the hard drive. Going to open her up and take a look. I open up the case and immediately see the issue. Every cap is blown on the motherboard. Every single one. How's this thing posted? No freaking clue. Did you guys have any kind of power surge in the building recently? The building did receive a lightning strike. No, the irony is not lost on me. Nothing had power for most of the week. Did you not have a surge protector? See those strips along the floor? Those are industrial power strips. I am told they protect against power surges. The things he was pointing out were those long metal office power strips, the ones that have no or very little surge protection capability. Those are not surge protectors, merely power strips. I look at every single computer in the room slowly. The exit is just to my left. I can just walk out and never look back. Friend's boss is sort of in my way, but he is scrawnier than me. I can just bowl him over. No one will ever know. Try turning on all the PCs in this office, please. Why did you say that? Of the nearly 200 computers in the office, one booted into Windows. It was not plugged in at the time of the lightning strike. What do you suggest? You got warranty on these machines? Wait, what? The simple warranty? We'll have to call Dell to see if it covers power surges. After a short phone call, FB walks out of his office with no color in his face. The warranty we have does not cover power surges. They said they can send out a tech and charge us for every computer that is damaged. Do you have insurance? Yes. I collected my 200 and walked out the door thinking it was over. 4 days later, the phone rings and I'm currently watching the most epic cutscene SE has ever done with one of their expansions. I ignore it and focus on the game as the most epic of fights followed the most epic of cutscenes. The phone rings as I finish up the storyline. How much would you charge to rebuild all of the computers in this office? How many? I should just hang up right now. All but one of them? $50 per machine. There is no way he will say yes to that. Looks like you get to focus on Titania Extreme this weekend. 25 per computer? I stop. Am I miscalculating how much money 50 per computer was? Answer was yes. Yes, I was. I dropped an entire zero on that number. That is a lot of money. But I also really want to play this brand new expansion. 30. Deal. Darn it, I think. Okay, I'll be right over to get to work. I drive out there and see a ton of Dell boxes all over the place. The warranty guy wanted to charge 85 per computer after the parts. So I just bought all the parts and called you. I curse myself thinking I shouldn't have lowballed it so hard. Okay, if I'm going to do this, you are going to have to help me get everything organized. Each desk will have the parts needed for each PC next to it, and I will get to work from there. Every PC needed a motherboard and PSU replacement, as well as half needing RAM or processor replacements. Only one HDD was damaged, and it was the storage drive, not the NVMe SSD. I go down the line and remove the side panel from each machine, then remove the power cables from each machine, then unscrew the dead motherboards from each machine, and you can see how this went. By the end of an 8-ish hour day, I had most of the work done. Just needed to boot each machine up and pray. Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Only 2 DOA PSUs that came out. Was able to head to Micro Center and grab 2 cheapo PSUs using my own money. The guy said he would reimburse me for it separately. By nearly midnight, I had all computers up and running and waiting for the logins. There was one thing I forced each new desk to have though, a high quality surge protector. I am handed the largest check I have ever seen in my life and walk out the door with a smile. That dude just got paid $6,000 for a day of work. And yes, it would be pretty tedious work, and he had to give up his video games, so there were sacrifices that were made. But he definitely owes his friend something for that one. And let that be a lesson to everybody here. Please use surge protectors. It's gonna save you time, money, and stress.
Submit your story to be read on the channel at voiceyherestories@gmail.com and join our Voicey veteran community at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.